In this video, I'm going to give you some practice just learning to use really basic things in Visual Studio Code and hand coding a very simple web page. There isn't any homework assignment that you're going to hand in for this. There will be a quiz on the parts of a basic web page. I'm going to create a new folder in Visual Studio Code. So I've created a Web 105 folder on my desktop, and here I can add a new folder to it. I don't want to have it in here in lists. I'm just going to select this whole area here, and then I'm going to hit plus, and I'm going to type in practice. This won't be a normal web page because I'm not having an index page here. I'm going to name my first page basic.html. And we use .html, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. That is the standard that we use in this class. You could possibly see basic HTML pages written with a .htm. That's a very old syntax from the 90s, but it is still valid. You work with style guides that are provided by the company, or in this case, the classroom that you're working in. There are tools to make this faster. We're not going to use them at this juncture. So we're going to put in doc type, and that should be all capitals HTML. And what that's telling the browser is that this is an HTML document of the current version. If you're using a previous version, it would have something significantly larger than HTML. Then we're going to start the HTML document. Most tags have opening and closing tags. Some, like the doc type, only have an opening tag. We're going to declare the language, which equals English, EN. There's also American and British English. And you'll notice that it automatically closes the tag when it should be closed, and it tabs us into the new level. We will typically have a meta, which is meta means it's information about the page. Char set equals UTF-8, which is the standard character set for American keyboards. We're going to have the meta HTTP equiv. You can see it has code completion that it's trying to do for you. You can just hit tab if you want to accept that. XUA compatible content equals IE equals Edge. That means Internet Explorer equals Edge. This is pretty standard stuff that'll actually go in automatically for you when I teach you how to use Emmet, one of our tools in the next one. So this line is specifying the compatibility mode for Internet Explorer so that it can use Microsoft Edge. You need to make sure to close that tag. You'll notice that the HTML tag at the bottom went from red to blue when I closed that tag. Then we're going to have meta name equals viewport. Content equals width equals device width initial scale equals 1.0. And then we're going to have the title. This should be unique. So if you have a website with 10 pages, each page should have a slightly different title. You might include the website title, but it should be more specific than that. And then I've just realized, and you can go back and do this the way that I have, that I missed under here putting in a tag, head. And the head has information about the page. And then the body section has the information that goes on the page. And this is going to be a really simple introduction where we're going to use H1, which is our most important heading. And notice it's not making me type in the opening and closing brackets. If I just type H1, that's part of Emmet, which is a shortcut. It's a typing assistant tool that we have in here. H2, tab, less important heading. And then we have a basic paragraph, which is just basic text. So there are 6 levels of headings, 1 through 6, with 1 being the most important. You typically will not use them all on every page, and you can use headings more than once. So you can have 2 H1 tags. You typically would only have 1 per section. You can have multiple H2, multiple H3, and as many paragraphs, as many headings as you want. So this is just what a basic page would look like. I'm going to save it, and I can test here because we installed that open in default browser. This is what it turns into. And if you're looking at a page, you can view the source code by right-clicking and choosing View Page Source. And so you can look at other code, though you'll find most web pages on the internet are significantly more complex than this.